Okay, can we talk about a villain era real quick? So I remember when there used to be like this trend going on where it was people saying, I've entered my villain era. And I was like, no, like that's so awful. Like, I don't want to be a villain. What is that about? But then God convicted me of something and was like, okay, let's make it make sense. Now, for me, when I think about a villain, I think about like, comics and all those are movies and stuff like that, where it's like, you want me to be the bad guy? I'll be the bad guy, and like these people are doing things that are just terrible. But what I receive is that sometimes becoming a villain is necessary. Now, stay with me now because I already led into it by saying, bad guys hurt my heart. It's not about truly becoming the proverbial bad guy as a Hollywood standard, right? More so, I feel like you guys are looking at the ceiling. Hi, this is me. But let me see if I can. There we go. So, becoming a villain, it's not about being mean or, well, a little bit it is, right? It's about letting people down. Because here's the thing, when I talk about letting people down, some people have a whole script written for you. And if you don't read the lines as accurately as they were written, then they're ready to fire you. They're ready to say, oh, how dare you not read that script? But in reality, just as I mentioned in, I believe it was the last video, people are in our lives for a reason, a season, or a lifetime. And sometimes when people are in our lives for a reason and a season, they are anticipating a lifetime. So when you receive, or when I receive, I'll speak in I statements, when I receive the clear message that it's time to move on from the other person's perspective, I've ghosted them. I've become mean. I've become like standoffish or however else that they would want to put it. When in reality, I just tapped into my discernment and realized that we've outgrown one another and the relationship is no longer feasible for growth on either sides. And so instead of forcing something that maybe no longer aligns, and we're not talking about a marriage here, right? Because we're going to put in the work for the marriage because we made our vows before God. Now, of course, there are certain exceptions to that rule as well. But I'm talking about people that are in our lives in terms of friends or sometimes even family members, right? We have to just be realistic behind it because the world will tell us that blood is thicker than water when in reality, the highest of the high is the most high. And he's the only one that is going to stick by us from through thick and thin and from dusk till dawn and every other way that we can say forever, right? Forever, forever, ever. So in the interim, everyone else, I don't know. If you're able to grow together, then that is a beautiful thing. And you should nurture the relationship. You should nurture all relationships. You should not enter into something with the expectation of what's the expiration on this thing because I got to get out of here. Because if that's your reality, then that's all the sign you need that friendship, that relationship, that dynamic is probably not one that you need to entertain in the first place. However, know and understand that sometimes going towards the exit will turn you into the villain in someone else's story. And you have to become okay with that. You have to get away from the notion of becoming a cringe factor or how they're going to view you because you're on a healing journey or that you wish to ascend or you wish to grow. There is no blame or shame in any of those things. Always depart with love, even in the presence of victimization, right? Now, of course, with that being said, it may take some time to get there. Maybe forgiveness has to come into the picture, whether it be through conversation or the absence of one another. But at the end of the day, and coming full circle, don't be afraid to be the villain when it comes to building your relationship with God, because even Jesus said he'll come in like a sword and he will bring that division. So if you're in the space and place of division and you're wondering why your relationships or your family members don't seem to be getting along with you anymore, then you might be in the perfect place where Jesus wants you to be. But you know what I say. These are my moments. It's your life. You're strong. You're powerful. You get to decide. And that's it. Bye.